First video of 2019, and it's to do with TNT. That's a very good start to the year. Even if I am incredibly ill. I mean, listen to how blocked my nose is. I can barely breathe. Despite that, I was messing around with some weird ideas in my Redstone testing world, as per usual, and I came up with a concept for a TNT-powered door. So the idea is that you have a door that explodes itself to open. I thought it'd be a fun project to work on. I'm hoping that I can make this reliable and actually function properly, and I've kind of laid out some pistons that should, in theory, mean that this works nicely. The idea is that we move some of the cobblestone around, some TNT then drops down into this area here, it then gets ignited, and then to make this work, we need to power the piston at the perfect time so that it moves as the TNT explodes, which will allow all of this cobblestone to be destroyed properly. You see, if I just do this, and the cobblestone isn't covering it, it will actually take out that entire 3x3 area, but it won't take out this bottom block, so we need to get that into the mix somehow. We could actually push it across using a piston a little bit like this, so this piston pops up, pushes the block across, and then the double piston extender will push. We could actually have it so that the door gets kind of pushed around like this, so the bottom block gets pushed out. Oh, but then that piston gets destroyed. This is tricky. Yeah, I'm not exactly having the best of times with timing this thing. So here's some great news. After a lot of messing around with timings, I have managed to absolutely nail it. You can see that, yeah, all of the cobblestone gets destroyed. Only problem is that everything else gets destroyed as well, so back to the drawing board again, I suppose. I'm hoping that finally this piston setup that I've created here should be totally safe from all of the TNT explosions, so it shouldn't be able to destroy anything that I've placed in. Alright, okay, I think we're good to go now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building up this redstone circuit, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to cry myself to sleep. Now, in case it wasn't obvious, we're going to be using cobblestone generators to replenish the blocks in the door. So, I suppose one of them will fire 3 times, so that will do, I guess, these blocks. And then the other one will fire 6 times, so that will fill in the full 3x3 area. And I suppose, I mean, redstone-wise, not too complicated. I'm just trying to think how we're going to activate this thing. I think pressure plates is the way to go, which means that actually we don't have to worry about the cobblestone generators in the slightest for now, because that's all going to happen at the end of the pulse. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk over the pressure plate, that will open the door, and then the cobblestone generators are only needed for the closing. So I've started work on the opening sequence, and this is kind of phase 1. And I guess, yeah, let's see if this works. So what we should see is the cobblestone get pushed downwards. And then, yeah, the TNT appear in the middle. That could not have gone better. There were times then when I thought that was broken. It looked a little bit strange, but that worked absolutely flawlessly. So now we just need to move this block around, and that is actually the opening sequence all worked out. Now this is just purely out of curiosity, but am I able to use iron blocks for this door? No. Oh. I could be being stupid, but I want to try this again, because our TNT is actually going to be going here, which should provide some blast resistance. No. I mean, come on now, it's worth a shot, isn't it? That seems safe. Nothing's been destroyed. We've actually managed to make a structure that consists mainly of obsidian look kind of cool. Okay, now onto the piston relocation down at the bottom here, and it's going to be quite an interesting one to do, because of course we're trying our best to work around these cobblestone generators. So we've got to retract this block out the way, and then move that back to here. Then we've got to push the cobblestone that's been pushed down by that top double piston extender across like this, then double extend it up so that it gets pushed into this location, which I've just realised That's a triple extension, isn't it? That's not a double extension. That has to go all the way up there. Well, I guess we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. I mean, first things first, I've got to connect up these two circuits, which I have now done, and I've also done all of the timing circuits for the bits down on the bottom here. So you can see that when we hit this button, everything gets pushed down, and then this cobblestone gets moved across, and now all we have to do is build up the triple piston extender, which is going to push that piece of cobblestone up here, and then we need to build the piston circuit, which will replace that block, so then we end up with this sort of scenario. Now let's see, does this work? Yes, it seems to. So that chucks everything up there, and that is super simple. So it's obviously we're not quite building a full triple piston extender. We needed the full triple piston extension, but then the retraction isn't actually complicated in the slightest, because of course we're never going to have to retract this block. It's being blown up. Wow, my cold is definitely getting worse. I apologise to those of you who haven't heard this. Finally, after many circuit changes, I've actually managed to get this thing working. So there is the push down, there is the push up, and then there is the replacement of the block. So the TNT is going to be sitting in this little gap right here. It will explode everything, and we'll be left with this, allowing us to walk through. Okay, I think it's time to test this thing. Backups have been made. Let's do this. Nice. So it works. Alright, so the opening is now all done. Now we just need to do the closing, which of course involves all of our cobblestone generators and things, and it's already getting quite complicated. So here is our 30-tick redstone clock, which means that these cobblestone generators, that's how fast these things are going to be working. And then I'm trying to work out the logic so that they know when to shut off. Okay, so the idea is that we have a smart piston up here, so gradually the cobblestone will go up like this, and it will go up on both sides, and then eventually it will reach here, and it will be pushed across. But actually you just saw the logic circuit kicking in, so that's just gone across there, and then on the second time around only this side will push across, which means that, yeah, we get the full through. But I'm losing my mind. I don't know if that's right or not. And this door's looking so complicated. Look at this thing. I thought this was going to be a really simple little redstone project to kick off the year, and it's ended up being absolutely mahoosive. Let's just see what happens here. Now, the redstone clock isn't going to turn off. Okay, that's good. That worked. That worked. We just need something that shuts off the redstone clock, and then that will all function. I think. Once again, yeah, losing my mind. Ladies and gentlemen, I finally sussed it out. So this should be the final little circuit that is going to activate everything. We've got the automatic stopping system. That's what's going on right here. I reckon we're good to go. It's time to make another backup. Alright, I made a backup of my backup just to make doubly sure. So here comes the first proper test of the TNT door. So there is everything. That is the explosive opening, so that's all looking good. Now here comes the closing sequence. So there we go. Oh, my button's been blown up. Alright, so maybe, you know, you do have to be careful with where you place in your inputs. But aside from that, here we see a piston door. That is completely reusable. And it explodes to open. I think this is one of the coolest things I've built. Definitely the coolest thing I've built all year. I couldn't help making some form of 2019 cheesy joke. But you have to admit, I mean, this is a pretty sweet redstone circuit right here. TNT powered piston doors. Yep. I can definitely watch this all day. Anyway, I really do hope that you've enjoyed this little redstone video. It's been a very fun one to work on. I apologize for the fact that I am ill and sniffly. Hopefully, I get better over the next couple days. But anyway, if you have enjoyed, please sure to that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.